to another episode of Beer Battered Thoughts. I got a special guest once again. I know it's been a little while since the episode. I know the last episode you guys are watching from this one is going to be the Mickey Wrangler episode, Mickey the Merc. But we've got another episode I'm filming right now, special, Juneteenth special. You know, check out the Juneteenth special. The record's going to come out probably like a week after that. Juneteenth special, I'm going to call it that anyway. And I got a special guest, fellow Knight of Wakanda, my man Spencer Waddell, aka Seto of the Wandering Sword Project. My brother, how's it going, man?
Thanks for having me, brother. I really appreciate it. I've been watching your show, and I'm really liking what you're doing. And since we had that pro fight, which you guys should check it out, we're going Dallas Warlords.
Yeah.
It was a great time.
We're going to talk about that.
Yes.
We're going to talk about
so,
that in a second.
You're like, you should come do an interview. I'm like, I'm here, let's do it.
So I was like, man, they're going to do like training. And I was like, they're going to do like a chapter match. And I'm like, man, we're doing a pro fight. I was like, we don't get to see each other after.
No.
And like, you're going to be worn out after that. I'm already nursing. I'm nursing like a couple of injuries. I'm like, let's go hang out, drink some beer.
Exactly.
Go do some Juneteenth stuff.
And once again, you said, I'm like, just hang out. First, you had me on that. And then you're like, let's do a Juneteenth special. Got me. And beers. Let's go.
Let's do it. I was like, we got other topics. But anyway, yeah, man. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
I think you appreciate you guys for being so patient with me and listening to the show. I'm only going to do, I announced before, I'm only going to do 25 episodes. Last season I did 38 episodes.
Wow.
And that was just because I had like a lot of time. And I had built up a lot of big giant library before.
Sure.
So a lot of episodes, I think I had recorded like 20 episodes before the pandemic hit. And so it just like took time to put those to put out. And then, of course, during the pandemic, it was hard to like schedule people.
Yeah.
And then I had cleaned up like another 18, and I was like, okay, well,
that's a lot. I mean,
that's a lot of episodes.
work. I
mean, I was like, it's all me. It's all me. I had some people help me, but they dropped out. A bunch of punks.
Oh, quitters! Shots fired.
Quitters.
Shots
That's okay though.
That's right.
But I appreciate you coming on once again.
It's a lot of work,
first
man.
question. First question. Sure. Before we start getting this stuff, Spencer, are you a beer drinker?
I am a beer drinker. If my mom's listening, I'll be like, that's because of social things. I went to Germany and I became a bad person. But no, I'm prior Air Force, so I joined the Air Force when I was 18.
Yeah.
My dad was like, you're gonna do this or that. I'm like, all right, I'll try it. So over in Germany, you get to drink at host nation level. So you can be 18-year-old and drink. I was like, oh, this is cool. I'm gonna try this out. Yeah. So I had my first Hefeweizen. Those are my favorite. And those are great. I came back to the States. My friends were like, have a beer. I'm like, oh yeah, I had some. And I had a Budweiser or something. Not to hate on the Budweiser fans, you know, have your fun. I'm trying to be good. But I was like, what is this? I am not a beer snob. I do not like this.
Straight Garbaccio.
So I very much so enjoy beer. I'm not gonna lie. I'm more like the Crystal Weizens, more the wheat beers. Like I don't know what we got.
This is actually a wheat ale.
Ooh.
Yeah, wheat sour wheat beer. Yeah.
I feel like you catered to me, especially today. It's not House Day, but I know everyone's love their IPAs, which love your IPAs.
Well, I picked this one, but I did pick this one because we're gonna be outside.
Exactly.
And we both trying to stay as healthy. You know, get toasted before we get drinking some heavy like stout or heavy lager beer like before we go out there. But yeah, absolutely. You should have Hefeweizen is your go-to. Have you tried other stuff?
I have tried a little bit. So I'm one of those guys. I'll try almost anything once.
Yeah.
But I tried like a lot of different things. I'm just like, that's more like I like. But I'm always up for trying something new.
You tried it straight from the source of Hefeweizen. Wasn't no wait, no delay time, no like 6 months wait to get it shipped and then have it thing. Nope. You were like, nah, we in Germany. We get some amazing mail a week ago.
Yeah, I'm like, yes, this is the pinnacle.
Yeah.
And now, I really want to go back and.
That's why I'm so happy about one of the unique thing about during the sport that we do. We're gonna talk about like booter and stuff like that, and things like that.
Sure.
You get to travel the world. You get to go places and like and then you get to go. When I go to Europe.
100%, and that's why you mentioned a little bit of a Wandering Sword project that my friend Kyle and my brother Douglas Santiago started up. Yeah. We're like, this is what we do. We travel. We want to be swordsmen. I don't care if it's nerdy and all that stuff, but the sword part, I want to travel and be a wandering swordsman and meet people across the world and have a fight with them and drink a beer.
That's what I want to do. Drink some beers with some people I've never met before in countries. Be like, I made it. I'm drinking beer, fighting in somewhere in the country. I don't even know. Can't even pronounce it. I was super sad that IMCF got canceled.
Yeah.
HMB got pushed back.
Yep. BO10. 2020 got pushed.
I don't even know if I'm going to requalify for that. I don't know.
Dude, you gotta try at least once.
Yeah,
when I win that, I want to go against you. And
yeah, we gotta try to do this. But anyway, before I can start, let's go ahead and break these open. Sure. So today we guys are drinking. We are drinking Guava Lime GOSE Sour Wheat Ale, sea salt, coriander, lime juice, and guava puree from WELDWORKS Brewing Company. I don't even know how many ABVs it is. It's 4.5 ABV, so yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, only 4.5, so which is good because, like I said, we're gonna be on the heat. We don't need y'all.
But we need
Texas heat. So we need too much going on here.
Which Texas heat, I do like it. I like it better than a lot of the other kind of heats, but.
Because you live in Illinois, right?
Yep, I live in Illinois. I live in a little town called Eureka, which is claimed to fame as being Ronald Reagan's town there. Oh, that's right. That's all right, bro. From German stuff I learned, I did that word. They're like, what are you doing?
I don't know. My poor skills are sometimes are on point, and then other days I'm like, So yeah, I probably should have been. I didn't tip it well enough. So I on here. I was like, all right, man, it's all right. It'll be fine.
It's still gonna work. It's still gonna go down here. You're talking great.
My gullet.
Yep. But yeah, in Illinois, I like to think we're around the central, right near Peoria, about 2.5 hours south of Chicago.
Okay.
But it gets just as hot, I believe. We get humid heat just as well, but then of course we get that horrible snow slush and stuff that you guys got used to in this, not used to, but you guys had that.
Introduced to it.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, this is dry.
Punch in the face.
He was in Texas for a reason, but I don't like snow. But I was like, yeah, but I used to live in the Midwest. I'm actually originally from Kansas, Kansas, Missouri area, so it's like, man, trash, snow, like 12 feet.
I don't know why.
Snow literally ties his chair, and the chairs were sitting in. Like, nah.
My parents are still there. I'm born and raised in Illinois, right near St. Louis. And after that, I'm going to be like, I'm coming to either Texas, Cali, any place. I just don't want to be more.
No, I'm done. Yeah, really. But anyway, let's go ahead and let's go give this a sip.
Cheers, my man.
Cheers, my man. Okay.
Well, that's good.
That coriander, lime. Guava. Definitely,
it's really refreshing, and I'm one of those guys I like sours.
Yeah.
I was up in Michigan, was where I was doing a lot of the training. Mm-hmm. I was shout out to Michigan top team. It's a Darren Cruikshank's gym. So he's a great MMA fighter. He has a nice gym there. Detroit Fight Club there. Shout out to Detroit Fight Club. They let me train with them, and it was like I felt like Rocky. I literally came up there with my friend. He's a good SCA fighter. Also, he started off with Bellagarth, like foam fighting, and he crossed over to SCA, and he just got knighted recently. So for our fans, like he's basically a black belt in the SCA wise. And it's funny because I was the one that knighted him, but he earned it himself. It's not like I did that for him. But he's like, you should come up here. I worked construction during the day, so I woke up at like 6 o'clock, go and work, pouring concrete, moving stuff, just breaking things up, and then after that I go and train at the Detroit Fight Club, and then I go back to sleep and do it again. So it was like going to the gym getting paid.
Oh, okay.
It was fun. It was fun.
So you mentioned, like, for people who don't know what that is, just real quick, what is Bellagarth and SCA?
So Bellagarth is a foam fighting system that I think started around, I think it was in the, I don't know, I'm really horrible time. It's been on the 60s, Bellagarth I think is around the 80s, 60s, 70s, but SCA is another fighting system that started around in 1957 over in California. Yeah. And it started with a toga party and then just blew up from there, and now it's a worldwide organization. They have around 40,000 members, 20 different kingdoms. Yeah. You can fight, do different stuff. They have historical reenactment. Yeah. It's just fun.
I read something special, like when I started doing this work, I saw something about where they go to like somewhere in like Ohio or something like that. Mm-hmm. It's like 10,000 people.
Yes.
And it's like all just run out and fight like a real army.
The Great Pennsic War.
That's what the
So everybody from all over the world, as far as from Australia, come to Pennsylvania, Cooper's Lake, and it's a war between the Middle Kingdom, which is Illinois, Indiana, Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, Kentucky, and Ohio. Yeah. And then we're versus the East, which I don't know all the East Kingdoms, but they're on the East side, East Coast. Yeah. And we have a war, and we duke it out, and everybody else from all the kingdoms, it's like backyard basketball. You pick teams, you're like, I want to do my team with this team. And it literally gets up to around 500. Back in the day, it'd get up to like 1,000 to fight. Non-choreographed fighting, you have different scenarios, and you're just duking it out.
No, that's fine.
And it's all honor-based system. Like if I hit you that part, you're like, oh, that's good, I'll take that. The marshals aren't calling you out, and you have different scenarios. It's so much fun.
I'm gonna be honest. Part of me seems like that seems interesting, but at the same time, it seems super nerdy that I would never do.
Oh yeah, no, nothing wrong with that at all. It's super nerdy.
So it's like some things I would watch it, but I would never do it because it just feels stupid.
Yeah.
and I would make fun of people after watching it. I'd be like, that's cool. Oh, that's cool that you got so many people doing it.
Yeah.
All these different costumes and everything like that. But
Yeah. But you're like, come on, man. One of these days now I'm going to drag you down and be like, all right, we're doing an all-African unit. And we're going to come out there and do it. Which is a guy, Damon Stith from Historical African Martial Arts. He's like, hey, yeah, I want to make a whole Mamluk unit. And like, I want to get to 100 people and we just go out on the field and we just lay waste. Now you pick a side, you do a part workout. I think I can pull you into that one.
People would never knew it was me though.
That's all right.
Full whole thing on.
That's all right.
Can't tell that. Can't post that on the gram. Can't tell people.
No. I mean, granted, then I'm gonna edit it in. I'm like, oh, there's Cyrus right there. They're like, why'd you betray me? Why'd you betray me? I'm like, no one's gonna know. No one's gonna know.
People like that. Well, we've been sipping on this for a second, and I have a classification system. I'm gonna let you decide. Now we've been sipping on this for a second. It's got 4 classifications. I like to put this in. So one is just the turn up juices. You know, this is the one where you're getting ready to primed up and ready to go out. You're out there, you're celebrating, you're popping this. Or is this the rotational? You can throw this on your rotational. You know, you go to Tuesday, Wednesday, or Friday, Saturday, whatever it may be that day you need to relax, whatever, for your rotational beer. Or is this the, if that's all you got, you know, if that's all you got, hey, you're at somebody's house, you know, you're at somewhere and be like, oh yeah, they offered you. That's all you got, no problem.
I appreciate that.
I'll take it. Or if this is like the dreaded, nah, I'm good. I'm good. You don't even say it. You don't even be rude. I'll take, you got water, man. I'll take that.
Yeah, I'm trying to come back.
When people offer me like Keystone or like Natty Light, I'm like, no, I'm good. Well, Budweiser, even Budweiser, I'm like, no, I'm good. No, I'm good. I'll just say, come on.
Man, I think this is more. I think it's a special occasion kind of one where like this feels really refreshing. Like, so we're about to go out on a hot day, celebrate Juneteenth, and we're gonna be outside. You want something heavy, you don't want something weighing you down. This has those nice citrus notes, so it makes you feel kind of like, oh, I feel good, invigorated. But I don't think I would put in my rotation. Like, I'm gonna do this. Like, I'll go make sure I get a case of this so I have it all every day. Yeah. What about you?
You know what? I think about you're right. It is a rotational beer for like summer.
Yeah.
For the heat, special occasion, rotational beer for like weather like this.
Yeah.
But be out there, it'll be 95, 100, probably something like that, somewhere in there. It'll be hot. I don't need
some training in.
Get some refreshing water and be hitting it. But I absolutely agree with you. That's it. But before we get too far into, we're gonna talk about Wandering Sword in a second, and we're gonna talk about your pro fight last night.
Sure.
As a wandering swordsman and a swordsman, an African American swordsman, in doing all these different things in the SEO world, Booher world, traveling the world and things like that. Since we're tying this into Juneteenth, what does that mean now? Now it's a holiday. It's a legalized holiday.
That is really.
You are now like you're a part of. You've been trying to do this history. What does it mean to you?
It's really monumental. It's really. We think about, especially I think this is being a swordsman. Like, you think about the here and now. You will reflect on what you did. Just like when we'll talk about more of the training, you're like, oh, I could have did better. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. But we're here now.
Yeah.
The here and now that they actually made that a holiday is something we'll look back and like, hey, you remember that? I'm like, yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
It makes a big deal because I have a lot of friends that are any other color, Caucasian, Asian, everything right there. But the difference of the bond that you have being African American, being a person of color, it's really interesting because it's been a long way. Yeah. And people want to say that, oh, it's always been great. It's always hard. You're like, no, it hasn't. There's things there. I mean, I don't know about you, but when I found out about the Tulsa Massacre from like watching The Watchmen, or otherwise I didn't hear about history of the part like in our classes. So like, why was that not talked about?
Yeah, I didn't know about that until college.
Yeah, I didn't know about it until this year when they came on The Watchmen. I was like, is this real?
Oh, really? Oh,
I had no idea, dude. It was so. I was like, what? And you're like, my parent. I'm like, did you know? I didn't talk to you about it, but I'm like, did you know? Like, it felt. I'm not a conspiracy person. Like, they're putting stuff in the water. But that was when I was like, why was that hidden?
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of stuff like that.
A lot of things. So you're just like, we're fighting to be able to fight other people, and of course, people of color fighting Caucasian or white people that part. You think about how this would not have been allowed, or there'd be not French. Now I'm like fighting Brett. They're like, I say as a brother, I'm like, that's awesome. We got to have this chance. We have a bond on this part. Yeah. So I don't sort sell it at all. I'm like, this is a big deal. And two, it's for little kids out there, little kids of color, that want to do what we do.
Yeah.
They want to be nerds. They want to do either the Bellegarde, they want to do the SCA, or they want to do the MMA with swords, or they want to do Bover. And it's different to see people that look like you do something.
Yes.
It really makes it like, oh, well, I can do it, because I know you just found it recently. Me, I've been doing SCA for around 11 years.
Yeah.
There was not a lot of people, and I'm just like, I'm doing this because I want to do this.
Yeah, honestly, I saw the ad for this. When I told people, I told the story before, but when I saw the ad for this, I didn't even know what it was, and I found it very intriguing because at the time I was having some health issues, but at the same time I wanted to do something extreme. But then I was like, my next thought after seeing it, like, oh man, I would do this because it helped me get healthy. I was like, man, but then I'm like, this is medieval European, fight style for me. I was like, yeah, can I, as a black person, is it like, am I welcome to do that? I saw it in the video. The next thing I see, a clip, is taking off the helmet with dreads hanging out. It's Charles.
Charles.
Charles, like, yeah. I'm like, all right, well, okay, well, all right.
It really helps because it takes a certain fortitude for someone to walk into a space where they don't see anybody that looks like you.
Exactly.
And a lot of the communities are very opening, like SCA, Bellegarde, Jonsborg, Viking stuff too. People are like, hey man, you're here to do this. Well, we accept you, but it's really different. And it's kind of like, it kind of segues back to the Black Panther movie.
Yeah.
That was where we didn't know a lot of black superheroes. I had no idea. I grew up with Superman, but it wasn't these white, like, I like what Superman stood for. Right. And I could be like, I don't care, that's what I'm going to be.
Storm, Bishop, Blade.
Yeah. There wasn't.
Oh, an Icon.
An Icon, yeah.
That was only for him.
No, man, Icon has so, like, I don't know, if you ever guys get the chance on my Instagram, Simply Samurai, I did for this Black History Month, I did a superhero every single day of February, and I alternated male, female, male, female, male, female. And I learned so much doing that. I was like, I never knew that a lot of these superheroes existed. Yeah. And this is really cool. So, no, I think that's doing sword stuff. I think it's great, because there are some people where they'll be like, well, this isn't really for black people, or this isn't that sport. And most of the people are with us are like, yes, it is if you want to.
You go back in history and see so many, a long line of different black swords.
Yeah.
Yasuke,
The
guy who St. Maurice is based off of. So many different people.
Yeah, and a lot of people be like, well, that's a myth. That was, I'm like, myths don't get made unless someone saw it and it's based upon something that was true. Yeah. So, whatever.
Maybe some of the things that the details aren't exactly, but that's a real person.
Yeah, and that's why Yasuke, my persona from the SCA, so it's a persona based, it's all historical. You're not being a Dragon Slayer, you're not being an elf, which nothing wrong with that. That's your bag, but this one's all based on history. And my knight made me write a 2-page paper for how I would have gotten into service. I was like, well, I love samurai stuff. How would a black guy have gotten here and this stuff? And that was 9 years ago, before the anime, before the Yasuke thing. And I started doing research on Yasuke, and I want to be an expert on that. I want to actually teach. I actually have a class in Wisconsin where I'll be going to the college up there and teaching a class on Yasuke with the anthropology place, so that'll be really cool. So it's like, I'm being the sword nerd, I'm doing these things, I'm fighting, but I'm like, I know what I'm talking about. I'm like, this is historical.
So I wanted to wait till we got on camera for this.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to show you something.
Okay.
I created a character, comic book character, based off of the Knights of Wakanda.
Oh.
And I was like, how can I make each character? It's going to take me a long time. But I wanted to have some of the characters done. And I wanted to do, one of the first characters I did was a Yasuke type character based on you, an album of you and actual Yasuke. And I took some of your photos and some image of Yasuke and put them together. And I'm going to put it on camera, but I'm going to show you because I think you'll like it.
What? Dude. You got to put it on camera later. We'll have to do something. That's so cool.
It took me a long time because I didn't do the background. I had somebody else do that.
Yeah.
But the sketch I did, and then I had someone color it because I'm trash at that.
It's all right. Outsourcing is all about that. No, that is such a great honor, brother. I appreciate that. For real. Oh, you guys are going to love that. We're not going to share it to you yet.
We're going to share it to you yet. We're going to work on it. I have to finish 2 more characters. I just finished up the sketch for Howard's character. I need to finish up one for Fran, Charles, and then Joe.
That'd be cool. No, I think that's really great. And there's something
to tell 5 or 6 down. I got 3 more to go.
I can't wait till you finish that. That's something that I'm like, man, I'll be like, check out the Knights of Wakanda comic book coming at you.
I've got stuff, man. I've got time on my hands. I got stuff.
No, it's good. It's about the dream. That's why people, we go up, not just because we're black, but other stuff. There's so many people in life, no matter what, they tell you what you can't do and what you want to do. And I've had so many people I remember growing up in high school, had a nice girlfriend, she's awesome, and I was talking about Final Fantasy or doing some other things where it's Crystal Chronicles, which they just made for the Switch. I'm a video game nerd like that too, where the kids of the town had to go out and grab this like Miasma or this life force and bring it back to the town, otherwise the town would die. And I was like, man, I'd totally love to do that. I'd be all about that, saving my family and do something. She looked at me and was like, that doesn't seem like something you really do. And I was just like, that's not going to work anymore. But it's just funny. I'm like, that's really why I love fighting. I love being a warrior and meeting all these other people, because it's something that we lose in culture. The violence of this, and not trying to hurt you. Some people are about there like, I'm going to hurt this person, put him in the ground. But more, I'm just like, nope, I'm going to exert my will over you, and we're going to fight in combat.
You're going to comply with my will.
Exactly. And then afterwards, we're going to hug it out, unless you're a jerk, fight, I'll be like, oh, thanks for the fight, and then you go your separate ways, because you can't please everybody. But most of the time, you come out with another friend.
But yeah, so let's since you mentioned the fight,
sure.
Let's transition to the pro fight last night.
Yeah.
Your first actual pro fight.
Yep. I've done melee.
You've done melee. You've done some long sword stuff, right? You were Black Swans or something like that?
I was part of Black Swan, which is a group from Illinois. No, not really. There's still Brad Shivey still plays every now and then. One of the first OG people with with Andre and Jay when they first went over and made the first team to fight over. He was one of the leaders of that group. Him, Scott Frappier, and a bunch of other guys.
Was Adrian on that team?
Yeah, Adrian was on the team as well. Black Swan was pretty cool, but we didn't really get to. Everyone was so busy, so that's what was on my shield before I painted over. And I'm like, now I'm starting my new life. I'm doing this as a Knight of Wakanda / my own Wandering Swordsman, kind of a lone wolf thing. But yeah, so that was my first pro fight. Dude, it was a blast. We'll start off like, yep, I got the L this time. But
it feels fire though.
It really does. And what we were just talking about before is different with a melee. And opposed to a one-on-one fight, you have no one to blame but yourself and your lack thereof training or the armor that you did not prepare yourself. There's nothing, shoulda, woulda, coulda. Like in this case, I knew going into this, I'm like, Brett's practicing twice a day. He's doing stuff here. When you first asked me, like, I don't know, was it like February? So like, you want to do something like this? I'm like, first of all, what's the latest I can do it so it gives me more time to train? And then, because we were all getting out of COVID this time, you're depressed, you're also just like, I don't want to do this. But I was like, if I don't do this, I'm going to get put in the dirt worse. And it's going to be just me. They'll be like, oh, what happened to you? I'm like, I didn't train enough. And so this one, I lost, but I think I did decent. He got me in the third one. We were doing pretty good. He had a lot more kicks. And he put me on the ground once, and that's when he got the points. I was like, I couldn't get up from that one, so he just got the points there. And it really came down for me, conditioning, and cardio there. So I'm gonna work up. I already told him I'm coming back after you. I want to go after Charles first.
Charles.
Do a long sword.
Long sword pro fight.
And then like.
Here, Charles.
Charles Comfrey, but
Charles Harris.
Long sword. Let's go.
Long sword pro fight.
2 months or 3 months. We'll see how life works in that part. But 2 or 3 months to be back here because I want to come and fight here. Like
we're gonna be doing pro fights every month.
That'd be awesome. Every quarter.
I think there's only maybe there might be one month. I think they're kind of in May. Not happened in December, but it's tricky. But
I mean, life happens. Especially if we have like world competitions, you're like, we're not having this time. But I would like to come here 4 times a year. Once a quarter, do stuff. Like I said, come after Charles. I want Charles. I'm gonna go back to Brett again, and I want to come after you.
Austin Poncelli, a long sword pro fight.
Dude, whatever you want. Whatever you want. So it's just that. I know what I need to do to improve. You make a plan, and then you come back and you put up or shut up, and then you see how it works. And if that doesn't work, then you're like, okay.
For people who didn't see it, you guys gotta have to go back to those fights. You can find it. The stream is still active on Twitch, and it's still active on Warlord Combat Academy on Facebook. They still have the live that posted. Like I said, it was pretty close those first 2 rounds because even with the kicks, he was only Brett was only pulling ahead just enough to stay above that 20%. Other than that, for the most part, the exchange was consistent sword strike from sword strike. And then like I said, it kind of fell apart that 3rd round. Where, just cardio and just.
He put. So you
I saw that then.
And from here, we'll put it up on the camera. But there's a nice little crease that he put on my 14 gauge helmet. And this one, so this is what I thought within the SCA. 14 gauge is fine since we're fighting with rattan, which is a non-hollow bamboo. You still have a lot of force in it, but you don't have all the pressure and power on that. So this one, I bought a helmet. I have a wolf ribs coming in. It's literally a ship. Like I'm seeing the updates and everything coming there. It just didn't come in time. So I'm like, I'll be darned if I come there like, oh, I didn't get my helmet. I can't fight. I'm like, no, I'm gonna do this. I put on the, I don't know where I put the helm on it, but it had a closed face on their part. Like, no, I'm coming to fight. I'm gonna fight my way. And by the end of it, he blasted off the one part there, and then block enough, dented. Got a nice little cut right here, but that's okay. Scars are cool. My one friend said, like, I don't want a knight shiny armor. I want a knight with it's like got armor. You know, I know they're doing work.
Yeah, you're gonna remember that one.
Definitely.
They got the band.
Oh yeah. So we fight with a little baldricks on, so it's like, you know, red corner, blue corner, and they were nice enough. Was that?
That's actually Brett's one. This is how accurate you guys' sword strikes were.
Yeah, so
cut it directly.
That's so like this cut is not just like, oh, I ripped it off like part. No, we cut it.
It was from sword strike. It was a flat, and we were just like, oh. Brett's like, Adam Ref was like, oh, wait, stop, and they pulled it off. Like, he cut pretty clean through. It's like that's never happened before. It's like usually they just get tangled up most of the time, but they've never been cut clean through.
That's pretty. I'll take a badge on. So they're like, you get to have this. This is your parting prize. Like,
parting gift.
Thank you. I'm gonna make a headband and put this on there.
Like, train every day. Training montage videos. Like I'm coming for you, Brett.
Come fury.
Going down.
I know, right? Grow back my mohawk out for that part. Like, I'm going to get you, fool.
Yeah,
we're going.
Coming to get you. Going down.
Going down, brother. So no, it's really the hospitality was there. It wasn't egos. It's awesome there because everyone knows you put in the work. You just get in the ring. It's good.
Yeah, even Brett said like you were a challenge because he doesn't know what's gonna happen. Like you have a martial arts background, he's got a martial arts background. He's got an SAA background, you got an SAA background. He's like, yeah, the only thing he knew was like, yes, I'm a good grappler, but then he knew, but then he's like, and you did SCA, so he's like, okay, there's one or two things that are gonna. He figured they're gonna happen. It's like either you're going to be too far in SCA mode when you're fighting, or he's going to be able to get in you in a grapple and kind of insert his move that way.
Yeah,
and that really didn't happen until the end. So really, it was like it was a good challenge for him. Even that's why he said he wants to fight you again. He's like he hopes that like, oh yeah, you're going to learn from this. You're gonna come back. You're gonna be able to add some things to your game, be cardio ready, and it's really gonna be.
Yeah, and that's the part. It's so goofy. It feels like an anime or a cheesy cartoon. You meet fists, you crush, and you're like, oh, I learned so much more information from just this exchange. Right. And looking at his eye, I'm like, I want to challenge you again. You see some people, they're like, you've got nothing left to give me. I'm like, maybe. No, he was just like, let's do it. You want to do it? So I'm like, good. Because
I think he even knows, because he knows when you're at the same spot he was 3 years ago when he came to sword. Same position. So the ACA martial art background was just like, okay, I know what to do, but then I don't really know.
I gotta figure it out.
But and then 3 years later, he's like one of the top.
He's doing awesome.
People
can Drew, right?
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, your guys' sword game was like both just matched. It was unbelievable. I was like, man, I'm gonna be able to hit like that. I can't. I don't have that same power that you guys have to deliver my shots with. I have the technique, but just like my power, I just can't figure it out.
It takes time, and with those swords, they're heavier swords for what you would actually use, like in the HEMA, or like the other one you showed me later at the end. That one's a much better weighted sword, but that's also that's what they wanted in the sport. They don't want someone just going ting 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 ting. Right. They want you to be tired.
Yeah, that's the sword I ordered from Katie Brewer. Hopefully gets here soon.
Sure.
But that's the one Brett was using it to you.
Oh, that's the link you sent me.
Yeah, it's an easier, much better sword to use. And that one I was using, and then I used that one that you had, and then I used a different one. The other one that was a little bit different, that was better, but yeah, they're so weighted to where it's really not. The purpose for those weighted weapons is for you not to strike a lot.
Yeah, exactly. And the strikes, when they do hit, they hit with more power, and it's more that ooh.
Yeah, oof.
Yeah.
More impact and more power.
So I totally understand. So it's all that part. I understand here. I'm motivated. Get back in there and get another fight in, man. Because it's so much fun.
I can't wait to see it.
Oh, I can't wait to. I'm just glad, because the worst dream that we would have part, they're like, oh, it's nice that you want to do that, but you probably should. It's just like,
I don't think anybody was like that at all. I think everybody was like, oh, this is.
Oh no, you would feel it, but no, that's the.
Because everybody was quiet.
Yeah, I know. I was like, it's gonna happen. Which is interesting too, because I don't know much any of you guys do any kind of professional fighting or just even recreational boxing, anything. you get out there, you might, during the day when I first got there, I was a little nervous in my part, but not like I didn't want to do it. I was just nervous because I'm like, oh, what's going to happen? Yeah. But then you get there, you put on the stuff. For me, everything just fades away. Right. And I'm just like, yeah, let's go. And with the helmet wise, that one, I can't wait. Alright, so I got my little water sword case, which is kind of fun. Yeah. I got a sticker here where I was telling Cyrus before, every single city, every state I go to, I want to put a sticker on there like one of those old school traveling cases. Yeah, so
what I would, let me take a look at that.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's pretty broken, but you can still use it. But I would say something that some of the other guys did for this help, they drilled the holes bigger. Bigger
wide, and believe it or not, and you guys see with this one, it has both sides of drill here, but when I had this originally, this whole side was covered. There was no hole on this, so we drilled it out this morning. Yeah. My right corner man, Seth, he was like, "Want me to drill some more holes?" I'm like, "Yes, please."
Yeah, there's no way. No, you would not drill a pipe.
I would have passed out.
Yeah, I would have been like, we got some loners in there. But I would rather you fight one of those than you see if you can fight my helmet. I got one nasal. I'm gonna see if you can fill that.
Oh yeah, that'd be something. And that's like not to be excuses or anything, but I'm like, I can't wait to see how the WELDWORKS one goes. But no, I don't think this is too bad. I don't buff that out.
But just to follow up, like how different it is. Like look at what happened to Charlie. Charlie has this big giant grape helm or something like that.
Oh, okay.
He's got this big giant. He's got that big giant thing. And it takes a punch. But it's got these little tiny bitty holes, and if you're not great with cardio, you can't breath control. Like, you know, for melees, he's great because he can be patient, he can take his time, and he only has to exert himself so much. But you know, when his singles, he ended up passing out. He passed out.
Did he really? Yeah.
At the end of the last match, he was out.
Yeah, and that's part of the. Cause I was feeling that at the edge, like I was going gassing. I'm like, I feel my heart rate coming up. I feel my breathing. Like, you have the oxygen deprivation that you get, even the holes. I'm feeling it. I'm like, this sucks. And then when Brett starts walking forward, I was like walking back because I was like, I need more time. Then I'm trying to push him off like that, but he's like, he's a grappler. He knows that part. He's like, I want to be that. So I knew that was going to work. So I started circling. Yeah. And that's when we talked about before. It's like the little energy gauge for you guys playing any video games. That part, I'm like, it's slowly depleting. I'm like, I'm not going to be able to keep on moving around like this. So, all right, make your stand, throw them off, do some shoot.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. Well, I'm excited to see your next pro fight. I'm excited to see how this come back.
I can't wait. The Wandering sword, that's what we're all about.
As soon as I get a little better.
Hey!
We're going to fight.
Most definitely.
But yeah, so we're talking about the, before we get to the Wandering sword, we're going to take a little beer break. Hey, everybody, thank you for listening to Beer Battered Thoughts Season 2. I don't remember what episode this is, like 6 or 5, I don't know.
Thank you so much.
But yeah, make sure to follow me on Instagram. Follow Spencer on Instagram at Simply Samurai, at Simply Samurai, right? At Simply Samurai. And then check out his YouTube channel, Wandering Sword Project on YouTube. Wandering Sword Project. I've watched a couple of your episodes. When you went somewhere, you guys were doing martial arts. Okay, where
oh, that was over in Belleville. We went to where I first started doing martial arts. Yeah.
Like and then you guys were doing a few different specials, some different weapons and things like that.
We're trying to find our stride.
Yeah, so different things. No, absolutely. I'm trying to do the same thing. I'm trying to figure out what's good and what's not, and then kind of what's the best like topics to hit.
Exactly. Now we got in our season 1, official season 1, we're having something called Chop Talk, where we talk about weapons. We pick a weapon for it. And we have something called Director's Cut, where we take a weapon, we just cut watermelon, we cut something there, just like a 1 minute little segment, and then we talk about it. Thank you. Yeah. So we're trying to make content that you just keep on making.
Yeah. Hey, thank you guys. Also, if you listen to this, we are both a part of the Knights of Wakanda, which I wasn't a part of. Neither one of us was a part of until like I think maybe you were probably part of it before me.
I think maybe a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. So yeah, Knights of Wakanda is a collaboration group from all the African descended Blue Earth fighters in the United States. So we have a track group and we want to do some things and we wanted to put on our own show. We have some dreams and some goals we want to do, bring more awareness to people of communities of color. So we put out a song today. This came out to Juneteenth. We put out 2 songs, as a matter of fact. One's called Ready for War. The second one is called All Out Black, which hopefully I'm actually co-executive producing along with one of the other members, Greg Metcalf. Greg, we call him Metacritic. So he is Metamusic. So he's going to be he's the engineer. I've kind of done some things and co-wrote some songs and things like that. So that money that we are hoping that we'll earn from stream revenue will go towards our own event that we'll put on for Community's Color. All the fighters will fly everybody in. We'll, because it's expensive to fly in. We heard it really is. You gotta stay. You gotta bring your weapons in. I've got to spend a ridiculous amount of money to get my weapons shipped or even put on checked bags.
Yeah.
Your weapons don't fit. But anyway, but we want to put on like a real show. We want to have put our own show, and then we also want to help some of the guys that fight, guys and women fight, because armor repairs are expensive. Armor itself is expensive. I probably alone to this day spend around $3,000 on my armor. And that's only for my melee armor. I've still got to get my pro fight armor, my singles kit, because right now I borrow and have an amalgam stuff that I borrow for singles fights. So it's definitely expensive, and really the stream revenue is for that. So if you guys can help us out, stream us on. That's all it is. We get a couple pennies, literally a couple pennies.
That's right.
Every little bit helps. So yeah, absolutely. Check those out. They're streaming on all platforms: Amazon, iTunes, what else? Spotify, all of them. Streaming down. So check out the songs. So help us out. Nice What Comment.
Yeah.
Also got the Nice What Comment merch on Instagram. On Instagram. Right? But with that, Wandering Sword Project.
Yeah. So me and my friend Kyle and my best friend Doug Santiago, who we've been friends since we were kids. When I went over to Germany once again when I was in the Air Force, I was like, you should check out this bamboo stick fighting. And it was the SCA, not knowing I could have been doing it in Germany, but we checked it out. We were one day just talking, and I was like, man, I want to make this thing. I want the Jeet Kune Do swords. Like, you guys know Bruce Lee's martial art form, where it's like having everything together. And some people told me, like, well, there's swords in Jeet Kune Do too. I'm like, yeah, but I also want mainly sword predominant. So it was like Way of the Intercepting Sword. And he's like, yeah, we should do something. Let's call it like the Wandering Sword Group. I'm like, no. And he's a project manager. So he's like, let's call it the Wandering Sword Project. So everyone could get on it. We have our founders and stuff there, so it was just something that we worked on. We want to travel, and we want to meet people, we want to teach stuff, we want to actually show whatever sword systems. Like we had a Belagarth one where we go to phone, we're like, tell us about your thing. We fight them a little bit, we have fun. Now I'm starting to do the travel expedition part of it, like, hey, train, go and fight other people, and test your mettle. And it's like, win or lose, you go out there, you're like, wow, that was a good time. Thank you very much for the sword experience. And really making it mainstream. Showing people that there's a sword system for everybody. Male, female, short, tall, skinny, fat, I don't care. There's so many cool people that do sword stuff, and there's so much history to it. So that's what really made us just start the Wandering Sword Project, and we're starting to go with it. We want to collab with the Knights of Wakanda. We want to collab right now. So there's historical African martial arts, which is becoming a new thing. It's actually the president of it all is in Austin, Texas here, Damon Stiff. He's been on Deadliest Weapon with Danny Trejo, doing stuff with the Shotel, doing stuff with the Kopesh. And I just now recently made it on the community where we're actually doing an African art exhibit in Philadelphia this next week. And we got, it's a wild story. I was talking to a Belgian collector of all these 43 different Congolese weapons.
Oh, I remember you talking about the group a couple months ago. We were like, what are they talking about?
What are you talking about? So this, the Hammer group, the historical African martial arts group, they're like, oh, we really want these weapons, but we don't know if it's true. Stuff I will find out. I will talk to this guy. I will cyberstalk this person and figure out to see if I think there. And we talked through WhatsApp, and we bought $5,000 worth of weapons. We brought stuff together, and we have African thrown bushes, the throwing knives. Even though I don't really think they're throwing knives because they're just not built that way. I think a lot of them are more ceremonial, but we got them all. They're all at my house right now. We've been cataloging them. I'm going to take them to Philadelphia to my friend Osa, who's the vice president of HAMA. We're going to clean them up. We're going to document them, and we're going to put them up in an exhibit. And that'll be my first exhibit. They'll have my name on it, have stuff for HAMA. Because that's the part where I want to be a sword nerd, but I also want to be a sword academic. Because I want to be known in the world for not just, oh, you go up there beating people's swords. But actually let me study the swords. Let me talk about this history. And I actually changed my major to work on anthropology and African studies. So I actually would like to become a professor of African martial arts and Africans. Yeah, it'd be fun. So, it'd be a Black Indiana Jones. I'm not gonna lie. I just want Black Indiana Jones.
Man, make my future offspring, man, be in your class, man.
Exactly. You're like,
all right, so get together, man.
Let's go. Let's go on an adventure.
Yeah.
So that's what the Wandering Swords part. working together right now, doing some Instagram, we're doing some YouTube, we're meeting out, talking to other people. Because of COVID, we're doing just interviews mostly.
Yeah.
But now we're gonna start doing a little bit more traveling.
I did enjoy like all your demo videos and you using your webs.
Oh, thank you.
I'm showing those to you like, man, you see this like
It was so much fun. My little brother edits that for me, and I pay him because he does all this music editing and other stuff there.
Yeah.
I want to make. I'm not gonna lie. People are like, I do this just for fun and stuff. I'm like, yes, but I'm not gonna lie. I want to make money off this.
Yeah.
So you got to be marketable. You want things to happen. So I want to make a living,
Yeah.
and I also want to give a place for my friends to work. I want to give a place for my little brother to work.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, thank you. It was fun. It is. And if you work hard enough, something will work one way or another. We're just saying.
You're gonna have a whole network.
Exactly. And we were just talking about, we were watching WWE wrestling. Shout out to my brother Raymond Rowe / Eric the Viking of War Raiders and his wife Sarah Rowe. They like fighting. It's interesting to meet people. There is a community for fighting to make things work if you just reach out and you just put yourself out there.
Yeah.
And be humble. Because it doesn't matter, one day you're going to go, you might whoop up on some people because you're like, oh, they've never seen this before. And the next time you're going and you're in Texas and you got the L, but you're learning and you're going you are. So there's always a bigger fish and you're always learning.
Yeah, my grandparents came out to ACS National. My grandpa was like, I've never seen anything like that. It's cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's like, yeah. My uncle was like, man, I don't know, this looks kind of weird. And then videos he showed me, he came and he was like, bro, this is serious. I really be hitting people.
Yeah.
Like, really with some real stuff. I'm like, yeah, man.
And that's
my training goes into it.
Exactly, and that's something for your viewers that want reach out, tell us what you guys would think would be cool. Like, check out those videos and be like, oh, I wish you did this. I mean, you're never gonna please everybody, but it's interesting what people want to see for fighting. And I'm curious because my dream is to one day be like, all right, we got our Chicago Sluggers coming in to fight the Dallas Texan Warlords, and you're rooting for your sports team. You may not know anything about the sport, you may not know anything about the person, but you're just like, I know I love Dallas and I want Chicago to lose.
I know I love
which is cool.
Gotta get out of here. Absolutely. Yeah, I probably will put something like that. Survey up on my Instagram stories.
Check it out, man.
People want to see. Because I honestly, for you and me, I don't really know. I put up a survey a while ago. Do you guys want to see more beer content or more fighting content or both? Everybody said both. So I was like, I try to do a balance of both. The thing about this, when I'm at events or I'm fighting, having a beer on me or remembering to bring beer is like one of those things. Because I'm focused on So like having beer for the gram is like, I don't remember to do that. That's why I wish I had a girlfriend or a wife or something like that.
You're the coordinator.
You remember the coordinator bring some beer and then I like just give it to me where I'm doing.
So that's all right with your donations. We can get more people so he can be better organized and bring you more beer content.
We're bringing. Because sometimes I do bring beer with me and I will give it out, but I don't capture it at the moment.
It's not. I like this though, and that's the one thing I was talking also about to my friend. I was staying at my friend Seth's house, who in the SCA is Duke Sven of Onsturo, one of the best two-sword fighters in the entire world. I'm not just saying that because he's my friend. Like he has awesome 2-6 style that he brought from Amgard. But it's interesting because the SCA, what I like about it is it has a camaraderie, even though there are a bunch of nerds that part, but people take you to their house and it's more like, hey, if you're a jerk and you need to learn these social skills, people might teach you that. Whereas in this one, you're coming, you're training, you might get that if you're like in Dallas Warlords where you're like, hey man, you need to clean up your things. But most of the time, you're coming, you're fighting, you're training, and then that's it. So when we come, fight, train, and now we have an interview where we actually get to talk, we start to build that camaraderie.
Yeah, and usually the Dallas Warlords were pretty good. Like they even offer their homes to people. Like
that's really cool.
Like so, pro fights, like for people, they want people to come in to pro fights. Like, stay. Brett's got a room. A bunch of people have rooms or like they come stay.
That's
cool. Come hang out, come and hang. There's when we did a winter camp a couple of weeks ago.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I really wanted to go there the money inside.
Yeah, it was like we had a winter camp. Probably like 60 or 70 people. At that, and then afterwards, probably like half of us went to a spa together. We also went to the spa. We were at the spa for hours.
That's amazing.
Like 5-6 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they have like this traditional like Japanese spa that's out there. Korean spa.
Where is this?
It's right down the road. It's actually there's two of them. There's actually one.
You gotta send me that.
10 minutes from here, and there's another one that's closer to the cabin. It's like 5 minutes.
I gotta go sometime.
Yeah,
just like the
Yossi
life is strong.
Yeah, I was gonna figure out like, man, I don't know how we can fit it in. And I was like, I don't know if we could. Not this time.
Yeah.
But I'm like, but definitely next time we will go.
Yeah.
It's like cold bath. They have Arctic baths, cold baths, hot tubs, saunas. Like you have, they have all the salt rooms. They have so many different rooms. Like
and after fighting,
rooms.
that's amazing.
After fighting, like, oh man, trust me. Like I go once a month, and I'm not one of those people that liked that.
Sure.
Because then also that was weird, just like it's a bunch of naked guys talking. But you're sitting in a hot tub and like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, I'm gonna shit. I'm comfortable with my body, and it's like, I'm like, it is awkward, a bunch of old dudes. Like,
yeah. No, it's more of a cultural thing, but everyone's just there. You're just like, it's a human body and stuff. But I'm doing this more, that maintenance that you have to put in your body. When you're pushing yourself stronger, you're doing those 2-a-days. You gotta eat right. You gotta get massages. You gotta
especially after long fights or competitions, I really go from the training. Like I probably will go in the next week or so because I do have injuries and like that recovery, I feel like $1 million after. I feel great.
It was absolutely great.
Drink a beer, rub some CBD on myself.
I
fall asleep. I feel great. But yeah, definitely the maintenance. But yeah, definitely next time you come in.
No, I'll be definitely good. So I'll be back.
But yeah, so we'll get back to the beer content, man.
Sure.
So if you could create a beer based upon, the Wandering Sword, about you and your life in the Wandering Sword, any kind of style, and any ingredients, what would you pick?
Okay, I'm gonna be that classic network thing. Like we would have a variety of flavors for everybody's kind of content, right? And their approval. We'd start off with like, I don't know they have beer flights in America too. Yeah. But I first found them out in Germany. I was like, what's a beer flight? Where you get little samples of each. So I come up with a Wandering Sword sampler, and you get like and they'd all be like warrior based. I'm like, we have the Ronin, this one here, which is like a clear one. That's like a nice flavor with maybe some floral hints to this one. Or then we have the Crusader, where this is pure and like more white ale, and where it's like cured like this way. And then you start working towards like the dark. I don't want to say Saka Zulu. Like we got the dark pale ale, this one right here, like this one, like Zulu, the strength and the power. So I would go and make a beer for each different group and fighting culture, and also according to the market where people like whatever they want. And actually, if you can steal the idea, I don't care as long as you give me some of that.
Slide some of that money. Slide me some funds.
Yeah, just a little bit. But I want to spread it because it's just like any kind of martial art, and I just always think about things in martial arts. I mean, being a nerd, like totally Goku, like just think about fighting all the time, but you're like, there's different types for everybody. There's not necessarily the best one, but they're all good. You make a good type.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. That's definitely cool. What would be, since you're doing a flight, what would be like the average ABV level?
I don't know. I think I'm not really well versed in like what's some of the regular like because what do we have now?
So standards typically finds about where we are now, 4.5%. So about like 5.8 is usually most beers land between that, but then of course you could have higher.
The stronger ones are 7.5.
Well, the stronger ones are actually.
Are they like 13s?
On commercially, yes, they're 13, 14, 15, but then there are some that go as high as 50.
What?
Yeah, there's some beers out there.
I've never had one of those.
Yeah, no, they're hard to get, some of them, but a lot of them are in Europe and things like that, Brewmeisters and things like that. But there's a couple of them. There's a couple in the United States that are like 20.
Wow.
But there's one in the United States. I think the highest one in the United States is like in the 40%. There's
another
another one in Europe that's like 60%. You literally can only drink like that much, so it's like.
And you're like,
yeah, you're just messed up.
Well, once again, you guys are gonna have to tune in that, fund this a little bit more, so the Wandering Sword Knights of Wakanda and Beer Better Thoughts can go and do an exploration and find this fabled beer.
I'm trying to get my hands on it.
I think most people are used to like I said, the 4.5 is a nice, refreshing. It might as well be another beverage, but I think you could graduate yourself if you honestly started off with a lower and you get to a stronger. But I'd probably cap out at around like a 14. Because a lot of people like Dragon's Milk. I think that one's. Is that like a
like 13 or 14?
So, and a lot of people I know, especially if you're on empty stomach, that part, you're like, woo, that was good. So you don't want to destroy somebody in a flight, even though you're doing just a little, I don't know, what are they, maybe 4 ounces, 8 ounces, something.
Forget.
Oh yeah.
You want to do this? Get ready. So I got you the glasses, and then you gave me these shirts. These cool shirts. Are these shirts on sale or?
Yeah. So we're actually doing a merch. Oh, you got nice. The Beer Battered's Thoughts glass here. And this nice little beer opener. That's
Wandering Sword Project shirt.
Yeah, Wandering Sword. This is our moisture wicking one. They're going to be $30. We're also doing a Patreon thing.
Changing this one.
Yeah, you have to do that, wise, and rep the brand. But we're gonna start doing it, and we got a little pen going on. It just has, you can't see on the camera, but it has the 3 of our little animals. Heraldically, I chose a panther, of course. I mean, Black Panther going on something. I want to be a panther. My friend did a lion because he's a lion heart, and as far as my friend's a naval sailor type guy, so he did a sea lion and just has all of our heraldic animals on there. But yeah, we're gonna be selling these shirts soon. I'll give them a link later, some parts there, because we got our new little kind of goofy video coming out. Like it's kind of like more energy thing. Like, do you like swords? Do you like this? And we just go at it. But that'll be on our Patreon first. We're gonna try to do a Patreon thing, and then we're gonna just sell them regularly.
Before we take out, we're gonna do 2 things. Sure. I want to get your grade on my crown and my beer in my mug. It's my crown.
Oh.
And of course, my horn, my drinking horn.
Oh, you're drinking horn? Like,
yeah.
Man, wow.
So
man,
this,
this on?
Yeah, absolutely.
This is awesome.
Yeah. So it's custom made. That was custom made, handmade by by one of my guests who's been on my episode this season. She's on my first season. Yeah. So she's my first and second season. She actually makes these by hand.
Very cool.
Her name's Melanie, Neptune's Moon. Neptune's Moon. She was in my second episode 3. But then she was also in episode 12 from season 1. So
wow.
She makes these by hand. Yeah.
It's really nice. I like it. And the thing about crowns and that wise, historically or anything wise, it's more about what you want it to be. If you were a ruler, you make something, you're like, I want a crown made out of sand. Yeah. They're like, all right, I'll go make you. It doesn't matter. So
yeah, so she made this one out of green and obsidian, like real obsidian, a couple things and chives.
That's so
fun. I wanted something that matched the nice kind of colors, but also had some gold things into it.
No, it looks clean. Man, next time we're going to have to do the King's version, like, I'm going to bring my cornet, my crown, that part. And I love the horn, it's great. No, I'd say out of a 10, I'd say it's 11. Definitely a solid 11.
Yeah, got my collection of drinking ware here.
I got a nice stein.
Stein. A woman I dated bought that for me like 8 years ago.
Wow.
7 years ago. Man, I just drink out of it now. It's cool.
Yeah.
Cool stuff. Yeah, my nerd well, my big giant 1 liter deer stein. That's for Oktoberfest.
Oh.
I only fill that up for Oktoberfest, or if I'm really drunk.
I just need to be
drunk. But that is definitely a beer stein. What I like that is Oktoberfest. I go to Oktoberfest here in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
It is. Oh man, I miss October. COVID killed Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
Because that's like beer is like the one unifying thing in like.
Oh yeah, humans love to drink
together. Period. But then beer is like the greatest thing because like Oktoberfest was so great. Like you get 2 of those filled 1 liter. So you get 2 liters of beer filled when you buy one of those.
What?
You get your ticket. Ticket's like $20, but then you can buy this. It's like $70. But you automatically get 2 full fills of that.
That's pretty cool.
And then everybody's like, go get in line and get the next one. It's like $8. But then like everybody's like, oh man, what you got? And everybody's like, oh yeah, what you got to do?
And that I can literally contest. When I was over in Germany and I was over in Kaiserslautern, like, you don't want to be the ugly American. I learned some German. I mean, we're going to not say I want to go to Japan. I put on a list of like, I want to go to Japan, all these places. Like, I German. So, the complete opposite of culture. But it was cool. And I remember going out drinking. They're like, you're American, yeah? And I was like, yeah, I'm American, yeah. Like, you drink with us, yeah? I'm like, yeah, let's go. And we were drinking, like, they call them liter beers, where it was a liter board. It was wood, and it had beers all the way to liter one. And I was just like, I can only have one of these. We're going to go sometime. Once again, fun. So to give us some more money. So we can go to
something. Like, help me out, man.
Like the Wandering Sword and Beer-Battered Thoughts, we're going to do an expedition.
I'm going to train. I'm going to start training. Like I started picking up my duels again, heavy training, so I can get the duels, so I can make sure I qualify for either Romania or wherever.
Yep.
I think next HM is IMCF. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Poland,
wherever it's going to be. I'm going to make sure that Warlords are going to stick out so we can qualify for Melees. I don't know where I'm going. We're going somewhere.
Yeah, and we can do our own version there. We have a travel kit.
I want to go. There are some good African beers on too. I want to go to West Africa. Would like to go to South Africa. Try to do some fighting. There's a couple teams in South Africa.
Oh yeah.
There's actually 2 Booger teams in South Africa.
Really?
Yeah.
Sometimes, my half brother, Sean lives here in Dallas actually because he's the only person to stay with. He actually goes over to Ghana like every other year.
Yeah.
And sometimes we'll have to piggyback. He was a professor that actually studies anthropology. And he's like, yeah, we go and do this stuff there. I'm like, why did you not tell me? So we're going to have to go do that.
I would go with you.
Yeah.
Because like, man, I wanted to go to West Africa. I haven't been. I wanted to go.
Yeah.
I want to see some black people.
Yeah.
So I want to try that. So yeah, it's the best time to go. They always tell you to go to Nigeria, Ghana. It's like Christmas time.
Okay.
It's always expensive. It's like
$2,000.
But the flight is $2,000. But then when you get there, everything is like
cheaper.
Super cheap. But yeah, with that, before we end the podcast, hey, thank you guys. And do you have your phone on you?
I do.
Close out the show. Close out the show while you guys pull up. So what you're gonna do is you pull up the beer prayer.
Okay.
And before that, I'm gonna let you give out your beer battered thought. But once again, everyone, thank you so much for listening to Beer Better Thoughts. Thank you for being patient with me. This is episode, I think, 5 or 6.
It's a special Juneteenth
episode. Special Juneteenth episode. Remember, hey, I'm gonna put in the comments below. I'm gonna put Spencer's information for the Wandering Sword. Simply Ask Simply Shower Ride. We're putting the Mexicano stuff in here. We can also put a link in there for the music. Like, share, subscribe, comment. I'm gonna put this on the YouTubies. I'm gonna do better with the YouTubies. I'm trying to figure out my stuff.
It's hard to get into a schedule.
It's hard to get into a schedule. When it's really hard. It's just me. Like that. And I've got the train. I've got so much stuff to do. But I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna do my best to keep up with it. But with that, beer prayer. You still looking for?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm being slow.
With that, I'm gonna let you.
Actually, maybe put it in the side next so I can read it with you.
No, yeah, you're gonna say it. I'm gonna.
It's being slow.
It's So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you, recite the beer prayer. But before that, while I pull it up,
sure,
you can have, the mic is hot. Ooh. Give you got experience though, you got videos and mics, but most people don't. But I'm still going to let you have your beer better thought of the week. Say anything you want. Any kind of message you want to put out there, you want to say.
All right. Well, I have you guys as a captive audience. My beer better thought would be, thank you for listening and tuning in. One of the best things you can have in life is learning more about yourself, testing yourself, putting it in measure, and when we say in fighting, putting yourself on the anvil and forging yourself. And especially cooling myself down with a nice cold beer with another fellow warrior / brother, Knights of Wakanda. I am really happy and pleased to have this. So thank you for this beer better thought.
Yeah. And with that, I'm going to let you close it out once again with the beer prayer.
Excellent. Our lager, which art in barrels, hallowed be thy drink.
Mm-hmm.
Thy will be drunk.
I will be drunk.
I will be drunk.
I will be drunk.
At home as in tavern.
Hey.
Give us this day our foamy head. And forgive us our spillages.
Hey, it's all good.
As we forgive those who spill against us. And lead us not into incarceration.
I ain't got time to go to jail.
But deliver us from our hangovers.
I got to go to work tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, true. For thine is the beer, the bitter, and the lager, forever and ever.
All right, salud, the last sip. Thank you guys for your better thoughts. We're out. Bye.
Peace.
Appreciate you,
Ooh.
That was good.